As Mike Petty checks in from St. Louis, Andrew Greth, Steve Degnan out in St. Louis, and a bunch of other on board. As the Explorers will try to get the first of 5 in a row here. Well, at home games anyway. They'll play 3 here today. Wednesday night, they'll welcome Wagner into the house, and then it'll be another Saturday afternoon, noon next week. The Explorers will host Fairleigh Dickinson and Bucknell at the Palestra, and then we'll be at Dayton. Dayton will be here on January 2nd. At midcourt, and they're home under wipes, the Explorers, and on the road, Blues, Morgan State. Getting ready for the tip, and we welcome you to ESPN Plus coverage of Explorer basketball. Morgan State wins the tip. We are underway. I'm Cale Beers alongside Richard Prendergast, and welcome to Tom Gola Arena, Trumark Financial Center at 20th and Olney Avenue. Morgan State with the ball, but a steal at the top of the key. Saul Peary's going to take it to the rack, draws a hard foul, and almost gets the bucket to go anyway, but Peary will be on the free throw line. Very similar to the way last week's game at Drexel started, Prendy.
Yeah, what was interesting there was Saul, with Eddie Cruzzo out of the lineup, Saul Peary was guarding the 6'9", 6'9" Baxter. That was a good start for LaSalle.
So the Explorers, who have not really been memorable from the free throw line.
That's a good word.
65% from the stripe. They've found themselves with the opposing team shooting 2 fouls really early in second halves each of the last 3 games. But here the Explorers are on the stripe 17 seconds in the contest with the steal. Morgan State averages 16.3 turnovers a game. The Explorers steal about 7 a game. They already have 1. Saul Peary goes to the stripe. The senior hits the first one. Peary, 71% from the free throw line. The best shooter on this squad right now statistically is Scott Spencer at 75%. And they're very uncharacteristic for Explorer teams over the years. Still time to improve. Peary makes 2 of 2, and the Explorers started off with a 2-0 lead.
And LaSalle in a classic zone press, which I love to see because if nothing else, as I said often, it takes away some of those seconds on the shot clock.
Burke with a bounce pass to Brown. Burke going to kick to the perimeter where Davis tracks it down. The Chester product with a ton of the shot clock has a backdoor cutter. Spencer's with that man. Now they kick it back to the top. A drive and a missed layup. Offensive rebound, back up, but it's a shot clock violation because none of these shot attempts hit the rim.
That was amazing. They actually had 2 very in-close shots, and because of the LaSalle defensive pressure, neither one of those shots got to the rim. And Morgan State in his own press, same as LaSalle. See what happens.
Yeah, this is what Ashley Howard talked about in the pregame, that they'll press you, but then they'll be more Princeton-like on the offensive side. We saw that using a bunch of the shot clock in their first possession.
Yeah, that's the alpha and omega of basketball. You're going to be a Princeton offense and a pressing defense. That's something.
Brandon Stone from the elbow.
Get that young man's confidence up. That's a good start for him.
Stone played about 7 minutes in the first half last week and none in the second. Now an elbow jumper will not go. Rebound chased down into the corner by Isaiah Dees on Davis's miss.
Yeah, Jamar Brown, he's a big body there to move out, and they did. Dees and Stone both moved him out.
Beatty has his shot altered by Baxter. And now Morgan State with a drive. 2 bodies on the ground, and Shaggy Dees was not set. Isaiah will pick up the blocking foul.
Explorers foul is on number 10, Isaiah Dees. His first personal foul, team's first. Entering the lineup for Morgan State, number 4, Kyson Rawls.
Into the lineup,
number 2, Isaiah Burke.
Comes Kyson Rawls. Here's Brown, block shot by Stone, and out of bounds while getting the loose ball was Morgan State. So it'll be Explorer basketball. There's going to be a foul on the play.
Morgan State fouls on number 44,
Jamar Brown.
Oh, I'm with you, Cal. I thought it was just an out of bounds call. That was a great block by Brandon Stone.
Morgan State, number 32, David Syfax Jr. He replaces number 44, Jamar Brown.
So Jamar Brown will check out. David Syfax Jr. will check into the lineup. A near steal on the inbounds, but they can't keep it in play.
Yeah, I think David Beatty waited a split second too long to make that inbounds pass to Stone. That's why it was deflected. Fortunately, it went out of bounds and it's still the LaSalle ball. I like to see how LaSalle works against this press because Drexel's press gave him a couple problems last week.
2-0 Explorer lead, a minute and 45 seconds in. The Explorers break the press. They get it to Stone. Beatty, a wide open three. That's nothing but net.
Boy, that was good ball movement. Stone, you know, Stone had an open shot too, but, you know, one of those Speedy Morris lines, you know, take a good shot and pass it up for a better shot.
So the Explorers lead it 7-0. Stone with the two-pointer. Now here's a backdoor cut and a power slam by Troy Baxter. He put that down with authority.
The transfer from Florida Gulf Coast, that young man's pretty talented. But Spencer's got to make sure, or excuse me, Stone's got to make sure that, you know, you have to keep your eyes on not only your man, but your eyes on the man and the ball. And that time he just let his man go backdoor on him.
Dees has Stone trying to post up underneath, doing battle in there with Baxter. Now Peary off a screen and roll with Stone, trying to set up the freshman. Gets him on the low post. Good pin. Layup won't go. His tip-in won't go. And then he comes over the top on a second offensive rebound attempt and gets called for the foul.
Yeah, but I like Stone's effort down low, and that was a nice pass from Peary to get it to him. And good footwork, got himself a good shot. He'll make more of them than he'll miss.
7-2. The Explorers on top. Jumper missed from the foul line.
Like you say, Kels, Brandon Stone 6 rebounds in about 6 minutes last week against Drexel, so he can get the ball.
Beatty to Dees. Dees with a couple jab steps. Stone doing some more post work underneath, this time with Rawls. Now Peary on the hash mark. Stone a moving screen. Peary went the wrong way. Stone wanted to set up a pick on the left, and then Peary went to the right, and Stone tried to get in position. Now he has 2 fouls.
Yeah, that's a shame because he was playing with some confidence there. You know, he got his chance to start, hit his first jumper, had a couple rebounds, 2 quick fouls, gave him a little time on the pine.
Thanks for those checking in on the ESPN Plus broadcast, and we understand the audio side on TuneIn has some choppiness, some audio issues. We're working on it. Bear with us. Explorers on top, 7-2. Top of the key three-pointer by Baxter's good. 5 on the game for Baxter, and it's a 5-0 run for Morgan State.
Yeah, you just got a glimpse there of the versatility of Baxter, how good he is. You know, he's 6'9", he hits a 3 right before that, a power dunk.
Now Dees is going to drive. Kick to the corner. Spencer for 3. Pow!
That's the way to answer it.
Enough to fix the net. 16 minutes and 9 seconds to play as Dees gets the assist. Christian Ray will check in the lineup. He'll replace Dees.
Christian really had a lot of valuable minutes towards the end in the Drexel game when LaSalle had to fend off that Drexel charge, and he did a good job. He's a nice player, Christian Ray, only a freshman.
Explorers break the 5-0 run. Now here's a steal underneath. Beatty comes up with the loose ball.
That was great defense by Beatty, too. That backdoor cut, he was with it all the way.
Shot blocked, but he shovels it off the Ray. Back out to Peary for 3. Pow! And again, the net has to get fixed as Explorers ripping it. And we'll take a break. 15:45. Welcome back to ESPN Plus coverage of Explorer basketball. Cale Beers and Richard Joseph Prendergast live from Tom Gola Arena inside Trumark Financial Center, where the Explorers have put on a 6-0 run to answer a 5-0 Morgan State run. Lead it 13-5. Sharif Kenny in the lineup for the first time for the Explorers, who are playing without Ed Croswell day-to-day with an ankle injury. Beyond the arc is Sherwin Devonish Prince. Baxter already has 5 points. A feed away from the foul line gives him a 7th. All 7 of the Morgan State points.
It's easy to see why Baxter's such a handful. He's got, he's got all the offensive weapons. He's strong, he's quick, and he's a nice shooter.
13-7, the Explorers lead as they trade runs. Kenny a drive and a kick too hot to handle. Spencer loses it out of bounds.
Yeah, Sharif had a nice drive to the basket, but the weak side helped stop them, so he had a good kick out pass to Spencer. At least Spencer was wide open, but unfortunately the pass was a little too wide.
So a turnover. Gives it back to the Bears. Burke. Inside, Kimbrough is in the lineup, gets a blocked shot, knocks it out of bounds. That's Syfax with the shot attempt, and Jared Kimbrough will Play more minutes than he has in the last couple games with the absence of Croswell, and now Brandon Stone picking up 2 quick fouls. It'll be all on Kimbrough to hold down the post. Ball knocked away briefly. Baxter gets it back. Burke looking to drive, denied. 4 on the shot clock. Here's a drive by Rawls and a kick to the corner for Davis. His 3 won't go, but an offensive rebound by Syfax. Altered by Kimbrough, but he follows through with a foul. And that'll send Syfax to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's where the foul situation for LaSalle could become a problem. Jared, you know, he has a tendency to really go aggressively after somebody when they get an offensive rebound on him, but he's got to really, you know, kind of tone that down somewhat to be able to stay in the game. We talk about LaSalle's depth being okay in terms of, you know, being able to play a lot of guys, so the individual fouls, but getting those guys on the line early, it doesn't help either.
Syfax a smidge under 70% from the stripe, misses the first.
Morgan State, number 11, Malik Miller. He replaces number 0, Stanley Davis.
Davis checks out of the game. Both teams using the bench early and often. Second free throws a make. We see Malik Miller check in for Kevin Brodus' squad. Full court pressure. This is a little more aggressive than they've shown. Now they'll back off of the man-to-man.
Yeah, they're showing zone press on the first pass, and then they're dropping quickly into man. Whereas LaSalle's staying in the zone until it gets over half court, then they're switching to man.
Kenny fires it to the high post for Kimbrough. Going to work, forces a shot at the rim, hits all sides before finally being pulled down by Syfax and the Bears.
Kimbrough was pretty quick on that offensive move, too. It's a shame that didn't go in.
Syfax looking to drive on Kimbrough, maybe pick up that second foul, but he turns him away and gets it back to the perimeter for Burke.
You do see that Princeton influence on their offense. They do a lot of backdoor cutting.
Burke in, out, Syfax for 3, it won't go. Rebound, looked like Peary was held from getting that rebound, and that allows Burke to come in for the rebound and put back. Looked like Peary was pulled from behind.
Definitely looked like Peary was pulled. I mean, at first I thought it was just a good block out, but then I could see he couldn't move to go forward.
So now it's a Morgan State run. Cut the lead to 13-10 with 13:30 to play here in the first half. Peary goes to Kimbrough underneath. Syfax on his hip. They isolate. He goes into the paint. Now he drops to his left. Fading away. Shot altered by the second man in. And then they scrum for it. And Morgan State comes out of it with the ball and a break. A 4-on-3 advantage. Baxter tries to drive around Ray and gets the layup with a Euro step. Ashley Howard will call.
This doesn't surprise me. LaSalle going a little small here right now to sort of deal with Morgan State's quickness. And we got 3 freshmen in the lineup.
13-12 Explorer lead as Allende Hakeem gets his first burn of the afternoon. Those freshmen, Kenny, Hakeem, and Ray. Remember, Brandon Stone started, but he has 2 fouls already. Hakeem driving a kick to Kenny. Kenny looks to drive, jump stops in traffic, barrels right through and finishes.
Boy, that was a lot of strength right there because he looked like he was stopped dead, but he just kept going on strong.
Now Miller with a touch. Backdoor cutting, but Beatty knocks it away. It leads to a 2-on-1 break. Peary has a defender with him, drives and puts it on the rim. It won't go. Rebound kept alive, but eventually controlled by the Bears. Here's a steal in midcourt. Kenny can't keep it in play. Active hands both by Kenny and Beatty.
Yeah, it's a shame for Salle. That was one of those classic situations where the old-fashioned jump stop would have got him a wide-open layup because everybody would have flown right past him. A little bit of contact there on Peary's drive. I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping.
Erwin Davidish Prince with the ball handle. Drive and a kick. Deep three-pointer won't go, but an offensive rebound. Fading away with the miss was Cranston. And here come the Explorers. Hakeem back out to Beatty. Peary chases down an errant pass. And now Hakeem sets it up.
Christian in that last defensive set there showed some of that pop in his legs. He kept that rebound alive.
Hakeem with 10 on the shot clock. Crossover, draws contact, will go to the line after the break. 11 minutes, 51 seconds to play here in the first half. It's the Explorers.
Time. So far, LaSalle's been good with defending that, Cale, especially David Beatty.
Allende Hakeem, a 71% free throw shooter on the stripe. Second visit for the Explorers. They are now 3 for 3 after the Hakeem make.
Allende Hakeem, to me, made the field goal that won the game at Drexel last week.
Drexel was coming strong and in double bonus, and Hakeem's runner stemmed that tide. He misses the second here. So it's a 4-point LaSalle lead with 11:45 to play here in the first half. Devonish Prince kick to Burke on the near side. Burke, one dribble, finds Grandstand, deep three, no good. Hakeem has it taken away. Now a backdoor cut. Miller with a layup and an aggressive steal after the missed shot.
Yeah, LaSalle was actually sprinting for a transition layup there with that would look like they had the offensive rebound, but unfortunately didn't get it clean. So the player was wide open for that layup.
Good long diagonal pass, beating the pressure.
That was great. Spencer saw the whole floor there. He threw that pass to the right person.
Now Hakeem across midcourt, looks over his shoulder, gets instructions from second-year head coach Ash Howard.
Morgan State showing a little 2-3 zone right now, first time.
Beatty Hakeem in the corner. Spencer for three, in and out, and the rebound pulled down by Morgan State, who can take their first lead with a three here. Instead, they'll settle for two and tie it up at 16. Devonish.
Nobody on that team is afraid to come down on transition and take a quick jumper.
So Hakeem cross midcourt to Beatty. Kenny, Hakeem, Kenny deep three. That one will not go. And the rebound controlled by the Bears, who can take their first lead here.
Now LaSalle playing small right now against that zone. If they're going to shoot threes, they're going to have to make them. Here's a block and a LaSalle steal.
Block and Explore change of possession. Now Ray drives, scoop, shot on the rim. It wouldn't go. Rebound pulled down by Laggio Grandstand. Morgan State dominating the boards right now, an 11-4 advantage.
Christian Ray guarding Jamar Brown. He's getting up about 60 pounds and 5 inches.
And he'll back him in. And Ray takes the shot. Oh, no, they'll call the block and count the. No, it is going to be
for the basket and the foul for Morgan State number 44, Jamar Brown.
A foul, but the bucket's good. They're going to count the bucket.
Why would the bucket be good?
It is. The foul's like Christian Ray. The foul's like Christian Ray. Morgan State reacted as though it was on them. Yeah.
I thought it was an offensive foul. I thought it was a charge.
I don't know about the way Morgan State reacted, as though they weren't going to count the bucket. But we heard Kevin Casey say score the bucket, correct? They haven't put it on the scoreboard yet.
Huh?
Did I hear that wrong?
Well, now they're going to let somebody shoot a foul, so it looks like he scored the bucket and he gets a 1.
So Brown will go to the free throw line.
Out the line for Morgan State, number 44, Jamar Brown, shooting 1.
And he shoots 1. They haven't put it on the scoreboard yet. This should be an 18-6 Morgan State lead, 18-16 Morgan State lead.
Unless they called the foul. They did. I was going to say, unless they called the foul before he shot it.
So that is the first lead of the game for Morgan State. And Brown will go to the stripe for the end one. He's 8 for 21 from the free throw line this season. But he makes this one. So a 3-point play. Back in comes Stanley Davis, along with Kyson Rawls.
And Baxter is back in the game. And like I say, LaSalle playing small. They're going to have their hands full with Morgan State's size.
So the Explorers trail at 19-16 after the 3-point play. Ray did his best to try to take the charge. I don't know how he could argue a block there. And here's a foul on the take. Hakeem draws the foul from
Morgan State fouls on
Devonish Prince.
His first, team's fourth.
Well, we've seen Hakeem do it all year so far. He can really, get to the rim or get to the paint. And right now, that would be big, especially if he can draw some fouls and get those shots on the line.
9:38 to play first half. Explorer basketball. Peary to Hakeem beyond the arc, looking to drive to the elbow. Jump stops at traffic, kicks it out to D's. 4-3, pow! And we're tied at 19.
Like I say, 3 offensive possessions against Morgan State zone and 3 threes. Fortunately, that one went in.
D's with a 3-pointer, knotting it up. With 9:12 to play here in the first half. Devonish looking to drive. A hand check foul called on Hakeem. Team foul number 5.
No, I think it's team foul number 6, Cal, because that's what I was looking at.
It is.
9 minutes to go, and they're 1-1.
Kimbrough checks back in the lineup for Christian Ray.
I'm trying to see who's got Baxter now. Saul Peary, okay.
We got our audio issues worked out. There's a backdoor cut, nearly stolen, and a jump ball will go to the Explorers. I'm going to say we had our audio issues fixed, but still don't have live stats. So the other side of the court having some technical issues this afternoon from the attic. And the Explorers will get possession on the held ball.
Right, Dan, the man was running over here with that stat sheet.
Absolutely. They're working there for a second, but gone again. Here's Spencer to Hakeem. Hakeem looking to penetrate. Kick to the top. Dees for a deep three. That one won't go. Long rebound, Spencer. He takes some flack on the rebound. Back out to the perimeter. Peary for three. That one won't go. Spencer, another offensive rebound. He pulls up. Mid-range jumper. That one won't go. And finally a rebound pulled down by Morgan State's Troy Baxter.
Long shots, long rebounds, 3 opportunities, but LaSalle couldn't convert. Wow, what a crossover.
Yeah, and a little bit too out of control. He looked like he dribbled that off his own hand and out of bounds. And Spencer, Scott Spencer saying, yeah, I got it. I got a piece of it. So it remains Morgan State ball. After the attempted wicked crossover of Stanley Davis. Hakeem guarding Devonish back at midcourt. Devonish Prince looking to drive. Lays it off to Syfax on the perimeter. 10 on the shot clock. A drive and a kick. And then a turnover beyond the reach of brother Ed Sheehy on the bench. Sherwin Devonish Prince fired it out of play.
It looked like a pass to brother Ed, and I thought maybe we'd see a little movement there, but all he did was raise his arms.
Give him credit for doing that.
Brother Ed looks strong.
He's given the sign that you're going to see given to Army a bunch of times today later on in South Philly.
I know you got your Army-Navy battle with him today.
On the elbows, Shaggy Dees kicks it out to Hakeem. Beyond the arc, looking to drive baseline now. And tries to fish a pass back to Kimbrough, but knocked out of bounds by the Bears. And we'll take a break with 7 minutes and 54 seconds to play. Paul Peary, Allende Hakeem, and Jared Kimbrough. Inbounds underneath the Morgan State basketball. They don't guard Hakeem. And he tries to get Kimbrough cutting. The ball knocked away, batted around off a couple ankles and wrists, and last touch by Morgan State.
Yeah, Kimbrough wanted that pass up high, not down low, and I think he's right. That time Hakeem should have got it up in the air.
9 on the shot clock.
I hope LaSalle knows that.
Peary inbounds. Finds Dees. Dees for three. Pow! And the Explorers are back on top 22-19. Second three-pointer for Dees. He tied it up at 19 with a make. So it's the Explorers putting together a run. Burke picks up the dribble. And a foul away from the ball underneath. They're going to call this on Baxter.
Yeah, well, Baxter's, he's got the size down there on either Peary or Dees. For whatever reason, Kimbrough wasn't guarding him. So he wants that ball, and he's going to do anything he can to get it. And that time just used his arms a little bit too much for an offensive hold, 10 yards going the other way.
And Baxter will check out with his second foul. Remember, Ed Croswell unavailable today, day-to-day with an ankle injury. And Brandon Stone started the game, picked up 2 quick fouls. So Baxter has 2 to counter that. Here's a jab step by Hakeem, splitting the double team, but he loses it. And a turnover gives it back to the Bears. A drive, a kick to the corner. Penetration, a double pump, and a strong finish by Stanley Davis.
From his Chester schoolyard days, right, Marty?
Shaggy D's made that three-pointer. The Explorers are 5 for 10 from beyond the arc and 7 for 18 from the field. Here's Kimbrough. Hand off to Dees, pump fakes, gets his man to go up, drives, but sealed off. Now he's kind of isolate. Fadeaway jumper won't go, but they'll call the foul on Davis. Dees imposing his size advantage on Davis.
That causes sleepless nights for coaches, because when you get a guy shooting a fadeaway jumper, the last thing you want to do is foul him.
So Isaiah will go to the free throw line where he's made 2 already, and he has 8 points in the game. 6:39 to play first half, a 22-21 LaSalle lead. It's now a 23-21 advantage. Dees providing the senior leadership Coach Ash definitely needs.
It looks like LaSalle may go back into that press based on the way they're lining up here for this foul shot.
And the second free throw is a make. 24-21. Dees already in double digits scoring. It's actually a 8-0 Isaiah Dees run. Burke. Now beyond the arc is Davis. Rawls tries to penetrate, denied. Cranston with a 3, won't go. Dees gets the rebound off the miss. Outlet pass to Peary. The two seniors push it up court. Baseline take by Spencer, sealed off, steps to a double team, gets it to Kimbrough, partially blocked, still on the rim, no good. Last touch by the Explorers.
That was a shame there. Kimbrough really didn't have control of that ball as he was going up. He was still juggling it, and he just couldn't quite put that one down. I know he's looking for the dunk.
Dave Beatty back into the lineup for the Explorers. He's 2 for 2 from the field for 5 points, 2 steals and assists.
He got good minutes from Hakeem, though. Again, that freshman continues to get better.
Erwin Devenish back into the lineup. 6 minutes to play in the first half.
Morgan State's already played 8 players.
9.
9, excuse me, you're right.
Devenish guarded by Dees. Beyond the arc. Here's Davis. Davis looking to penetrate. Drives. Layup won't go. Rebound tip to Peary. Morgan State is back. Peary's going to kick it to Beatty for 3. Oh, in and out. And the Bears fight each other for the rebound, but control it.
That was a block by Kimbrough down the other end. He got that fast break started.
Rawls. Back at midcourt. His team trailing the Explorers 24-21. Cranston. A bounce pass to Rawls. Rawls denied baseline. He dribbles it off of David.
David Beatty, very, very good footwork there, denying that baseline drive. It's the old phrase, beat him to the spot, and David just did.
So Rawls dribbled it off his own upper thigh and out of bounds. Explorers up by 3. Largest lead was 8, 15:49 to play in this first half here. Now 5 minutes left. They lead by 3. They trailed at 19-16. A sweep with the ball and a 3-pointer by Shaggy Dees.
Scored by number 10, Isaiah Dees.
3 makes from beyond the arc, and the Explorers lead at 27-21.
Shaggy's shooting with a lot of confidence right now, and that's good to see. Kimbrough with Cranston down there. He's got his hands full with that young man. He's got the 2 fouls.
Loose ball. It's going to be a break for the Explorers. Dees will pull up for 3 instead.
Wow.
Shaggy Dees forces a timeout called by Morgan State. It's 30 to being sure that you make your mark on the lives of LaSalle University student athletes.
I love that number 750 donors, Kel. I just love to see it go to 7,500 donors.
4:15 to play. Morgan State reeling from a 14-0 Shaggy onslaught. With the basketball.
Christian Ray giving away about 4 inches, but his footwork's pretty good. We'll see.
Davis beyond the arc, guarded by Sharif Kenny, who's back in the lineup. Davis off a screen, a high arcing 3-pointer won't go. Beatty gets the rebound off of that miss.
Great positioning by David Beatty then to get that rebound.
Dees again. Shaggy Dees!
Wow.
17 straight points for the junior from Brooklyn, and then the near turnover midcourt chase down and across the midcourt strength slip Isaiah Burke. It'll be a turnover.
I mean, right now LaSalle just cannot take their foot off the pedal here because they have something good going, namely number 10. Wow.
33-21. Dees will get a break as Ayende Hakeem checks in. Turnovers now piling up, 7 of them for Morgan State, most of them coming in the last 8 minutes or so.
They average 16 a game, so LaSalle's got them a little above their average right now.
Kenny a drive and a kick to Hakeem. Hakeem to Kenny. Kenny jab steps. He drives back to Beatty. Now Peary in the corner for 3. That's a miss. And the rebound pulled down by the Bears.
And once again, you know, against that zone with the absence of a big man.
Scored by number 0, Stanley Davis.
Stanley Davis can't be denied on a strong take.
Transition basket for Morgan State. LaSalle's going to have to get back a little quicker than that.
That ends a 15-0 run. 33-23 LaSalle lead, 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Kenny to Hakeem. Christian Ray sets a screen for Hakeem. Kicks it to Kenny sweeps to the ball. Good perimeter ball movement. Now they go to the high post. Beatty back to Peary. Ray for three. Christian Ray's three won't go. Rebound pulled down by Isaiah Burke.
That's 5 missed threes against Morgan's zone.
Here's a steal underneath. Peary steps underneath. Now navigates a 4-on-1 break. Beatty catches, shoots. Wow. Pow!
3-point basket scored by number 1.
Dave Beatty.
And he just about got to the spot, too. His body was still leaning a little left. That was just a tremendous shot. Great steal by Peary.
8 for 13 from the arc. Burke mishandles briefly, but finishes up with a strong take.
Yeah, once again, Princeton backdoor cut there by Burke. You know, they're doing it every time. And LaSalle's just, you know, they've been staying with it for the most part. That time they let it get past them.
1:54 to play here in the first half. The Explorers with their largest lead of the game is 36-25 advantage. Peary to Hakeem. Hakeem to Beatty. Beatty's going to go baseline and finish with a soft left-handed finger roll.
That's great penetration by David Beatty, but better yet was the control he had going up for that shot.
Explorers up by 13. And what a quick run it's been. All this happening since they were trailing 19-16. Davis in traffic. Fires one off the backboard. Ray gets the rebound off the miss.
Yeah, but how'd you like Ray's position there and how strong he was with that? Oh, he's got him.
Oh, Beatty froze his man with a fake three-pointer and another finish on the muscle shot on the baseline.
Like I say, when LaSalle can rebound those missed shots and get into transition, they're having much more success than they are against that zone just shooting threes.
7 points for Beatty. A minute to play here in the first half. We haven't had a dead ball since the 4-minute mark. We still think we have the 4-minute media timeout to go. 50 seconds left in the half. The Explorers up by a game-high 15 points. Davis trying to answer that with a three-pointer that nicks the rim. Beatty takes the rebound, skips it all the way across to Hakeem. Hakeem into the corner. Kenny for three. That one won't go. Ray with a rebound, but I'm going to say he pushed off to get it. And so with 37.9 seconds left, I believe this should be the 4-minute media timeout.
And you can tell there wasn't any dead ball because there was just a lot of people gasping for breath there, both teams.
So I guess it will not be the media timeout. They gave it to him at the 4:20 mark, it looks like. So Davis will go to the free throw line as Christian Ray picks up his second foul.
Yeah, that's a shame. LaSalle had to put him on the foul line here with only 37.9 seconds to go.
Davis, the leading scorer, averaging 79% from the stripe, a 13.3 scoring average.
Ray's got to block out here.
Makes the first.
Peter Sorber, 6'8". Well, now they switch sides. Now it's Salle Peary against Sorber.
10th player used by Morgan State. The Explorers, I believe, there as well. And he makes 2 of 2.
Also returning for Morgan State, number 11, Malik Miller.
Malik Miller checks back in. He replaces Davis with 37.9 seconds to play. The Explorers up 40-27. Inbound to Peary.
They're pressing, but they go back into that zone.
Spencer.
Oh, I'm wrong here, killer. Man, all right.
Kenny trying to step back beyond the arc. Now looking to drive in traffic. Ooh, he got knocked hard. Down to the deck he goes, as did his defensive mark, and that's Peter Sorber.
Fouls on number 1, LaPree McCray Pace, his first personal foul, team 7.
LaPree McCray Pace in the lineup as well, and he picks up that foul.
I thought maybe they'd kind of look at that one for a little bit of a flagrant one. That was pretty strong. Sock to the jaw.
So 11 players used by Morgan State. Just 8 for the Explorers without Croswell and John available. Actually 9 for the Explorers. Sharif Kenny hits the first free throw. Increase the lead to 14.
Returning for Morgan State,
Lazio Grandstand checks back in.
He replaces number 11, Malik Miller.
Make this and get in that press and eat some of that clock. Don't give him a chance to get a shot.
Kenny only makes 1 of 2, so both freshman guards making 1 of 2. A 14-point advantage. Morgan State will have the final shot of the half. Frey And off to Devonish Prince.
Oh.
Branston trying to drive. 1 on the game clock. 3-pointers and air ball out of bounds. The Explorers get the stop and take a
ball pretty well. That takes care of those pressure defenses, but they got to do it the second half.
Good representation of Explorer basketball alumni here. Of course, Lionel Simmons, Bobby Johnson, Sherman Diaz, Amar Stooks just walked by. Mike Poderski all in the house as we start second half play. Isaiah Dees, Brandon Stone is back out there with Peary. Stone and picks up his third foul
right
12 seconds in. They went right after him. It was Jamar Brown who also had 2 fouls that will send Brandon Stone to the bench probably pretty quickly.
Amar Stooks, one of my good LaSalle High School alumni. You know, boys will be boys, LaSalle boys will be gentlemen.
So Jamar Brown goes to the free throw line, where despite entering the day 8 for 21, he hit an and one. And returns to form here with a miss. Christian Ray will replace Brandon Stone, who's...
Yeah, it's very frustrating for Brandon, really.
He got the start with Ed Croswell injured and played only 3 minutes and 17 seconds before picking up those 2 fouls, and another 12 seconds here before getting the third. Second free throw is a make. So on this day, Jamar Brown's a 66% shooter.
We do bring out the best in people.
Full court pressure on the inbounds. He's going to lob it over the top to Peary. Peary steps around, finds Beatty. Beatty has Dees in the middle of the court, and he's going to break ahead and defeat the pressure.
One of those great fundamentals against the press. Catch, turn, and face. Don't just try and catch it and turn and run with the ball. That's how you draw a charge.
Here's Dees with those 17 points in a 4-minute stretch of his own run. Now Ray goes for a reverse layup, but he's stripped on the way up, then dives and keeps the ball alive, but it's going to be a turnover, giving it back to the Bears. In transition, a foul before the shot goes up.
All right, 2 possessions, 2 fouls, and we're not even a minute in. And like I say, you don't want to get this team on the line very early.
And that has been a problem in a lot of the Explorer games, including the last 3. The opposing team in the double bonus early.
Oh.
Here's it. Easy turnover right to Beatty, who now will drive, go strong, finish, and draw the foul.
Wow, great play by David Beatty. You talk about strong. He was being held going up there for that layup, and he still made it and drew the foul.
And on top of that, being gift wrapped, probably the easiest steal he's going to have in his career.
It was almost like he was the intended receiver.
His third steal of the day. And Beatty will go to the free throw line. Try to answer with a 3-point play. 61% shooter. Rims it in and out. The Explorers have missed 3 of them again on the stripe today. 43-28, the LaSalle lead.
The foul line both ways has been a problem so far all year.
Here's a steal by Peary, but he kicked it. Oh, they're not going to call that. They're going to call foul underneath the bucket.
Call it on Peary or Ray.
Christian Ray.
To be honest with you, Kale, I kind of saw that with a little bit of a hook.
Ray picks up his third, so here comes Jared Kimbrough. Christian Ray will check out, so the freshman Ray and Stone with 3 fouls each. 1 minute in. We've had 3 whistles already this half. Here's Baxter. Team leading 10 points in the first half. Drive and a fadeaway jumper up and in by Sherwin Devonish Prince.
Yeah, Morgan State, I think, is very aware of LaSalle's foul situation, and they're going hard to the hole all the time. They're not settling for any threes. Like I say, they've not had a lot of good luck with their 3-point shooting, so it's understandable why they're driving towards the basket all the time.
3 team fouls in the first 90 seconds of this half for the Explorers.
Yeah, and 2 of those 3 were, third fouls by somebody.
Beatty splits a double team and draws Jamar Brown's 3rd personal foul.
The guy I want to see get a 3rd one quick is Baxter.
A 2nd foul on Brown. But 5 whistles already this half. And Beatty will go back to the stripe where he just missed an and one opportunity. Swishes his first attempt here. Stanley Davis and David Syfax will check in, replacing Malik Miller and Jamar Brown. Beatty back to the stripe. For his 4th point of the half, he gets it. 14 on the game. Explorers tying their game high 15-point margin. Now a drive and a kick into the corner.
It was good recovery by LaSalle there, because there for a second, you know, they weren't 5-on-5, they were 4-on-5. The one man on Morgan was wide open.
Beatty almost gets another steal, but it goes right back to Morgan State. Layup missed. Beatty gets the rebound. Dees is on the break, but they'll come near side to Peary. Peary feeds Dees. Fires a pass to Spencer. Catch and shoot. Pow!
Great pass, but boy, his feet were set. Shoulders square to the basket. Just great 3-point shot by Spencer there. No doubt about it.
Scott Spencer came into the day 44% from beyond the arc, and he's knocked down 2. And here Kimbrough gets himself turned around, commits the foul. That'll be his second and an N1 opportunity.
Yeah, but this is the first time I'm going to say something critical here, Kel. For whatever reason, David B just let his man go right by him. He kind of hung Kimbrough out to dry there. I mean, that's not David's style. David's a very good defensive player, but somewhere his head wasn't in that one.
Burke to the free throw line.
Oh, yeah, he's hearing it, too.
Trying for an N1, which he connects. So LaSalle lead back down to 15. (48-33). 17 minutes, 20 seconds to play as Saul Peary moves it across midcourt.
And now Morgan State back in the zone. Only this time it's 1-3-1. So
Kimbrough tries to take his man into the paint, instead turns it over. Syfax, and coming back, Davis steals it, fires it off Morgan State and out of bounds. But they'll say Beatty probably touched the ground before he was able to throw it out. Good hustle
by Spencer, really was.
Spencer, not Beatty. And Kimbrough reaches in, almost gets a steal, knocks it out of play. Sharif Kenny will check into the lineup.
Replaces number 1, David Beatty.
Kenny played 10 minutes and 13 seconds in the first half, scored 3 points. And here's a backdoor cut, layup, and an and-one. Sneaking in is Baxter, and he'll be on the strike for potential 3-point play.
Spencer, that is his first. Team Smith at the line for Morgan State. Number 13, Troy Baxter, shooting 1.
So Baxter to the free throw line. Combined 17 fouls between these two squads, not even 3 minutes into the second half.
Five team fouls on LaSalle already.
We've seen that. It's a recurring trend. On the foul line, Dees turns, takes the jumper, and nails it.
Great pass by Saul Peary to see the court there to get the ball in the middle where Dees was wide open at the foul line.
19 points for Dees. Scores up by 14. Here's a backdoor cut, pass beyond the reach, so they've shoveled it out to the perimeter where draining three-pointers Baxter.
I don't know if Baxter's missed a shot yet today. He was 4 for 4 in the first half.
Yeah, 5 for 5 now. 12 points. Actually, he could be 6 for 6. Our stats are a little bit slow on the update. Lead now down to 11. Kenny on the elbows, Kimbrough.
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing Shaggy go into that middle right there, because that's what's open against this zone.
Kenny, a drive and a kick into the team bench. It'll be a turnover on the Explorers. Peary was on the wing, but not where the pass went. Morgan State trying to attack. They do. No good, but an offensive rebound and a putback is a make by Isaiah Burke, and Ash Howard is fuming. He calls a timeout with 16 giving. We will do something as an alumni group, so if you're going to be down in the Caymans for that tournament, we want to know. We'll put you on the list and keep you abreast as plans come together. So the Explorers trying to stem another Morgan State run. It's a 9-point LaSalle lead with under 16 minutes to play. Morgan State extending that pressure. Now they're trapping on the corners. A pump fake by Dees, another pump fake, and a runner is up on the rim. Won't go. Rebound tip, no good. Kimbrough fights for the rebound. Dees takes it away from him. Stuff beyond the arc, leans in and gets a 3-point shot out of it.
Shaggy had that plan. I mean, that shot fake there was to do nothing but draw that foul, which he did.
Yeah, you saw Syntax flying out of control, and so we'll go to another break with 15 minutes and 40 seconds to play.
Some alarming thoughts here, though, Cal. In 4 minutes, Morgan State has scored 14 points, and 5 of them came because LaSalle didn't get back.
Dees makes the first free throw. The Explorers again struggling from the stripe. Now 9 for 12.
27 points in the first half. LaSalle's got to get that defensive intensity back.
And what, did they only give him 2?
They only gave him 2.
They only gave him 2 shots. Okay, so he wasn't beyond the gold stripe. That's the extended 3-point line. So he makes 1 of 2, and the Explorers again leave points on the floor, but a 10-point lead. Burke looking to drive, and Peary gets caught for the reach in. That's the 6th foul of the Explorers. This is a trend that we've seen. Explorers build a giant lead, let it slip away. Explorers foul a bunch in the opening minutes of the second half.
You know, you sit there and say 15 minutes to go, and they're 1-1 the rest of the way.
Morgan State on the inbounds to Burke. Syfax, excuse me. A drive, double pump off the glass and in. An impossible shot by Stanley Davis.
And as I say, you know, as you can see, Cal, Morgan State is absolutely not settling for any outside jump shots. They're taking everything to the basket. I mean, they see that scoreboard up there, and they know they're on the line every foul from here on in.
Cut the lead to 8 with 15 minutes to play.
It's almost like LaSalle has to just beat them offensively.
Peary, catch and shoot 3, in and out. Dees looking for the rebound, but it's controlled by Burke. A drive, a step through, a layup won't go. Spencer fights for the rebound. Held ball will go to the Explorers.
Yeah, but I'll go back to the fact that they got down there so quick. LaSalle has to really, you know, they got to turn up a notch defensively in their retreating speed.
There goes David Beatty in for Saul Peary.
Number 13, Saul Peary.
Peary picking up that foul. That's 3 on him, 3 on Stone, 3 on Ray.
And once again, this 1-3-1 zone has given LaSalle problems.
Here's Beatty.
You want to get it in the middle if you can.
Kenny.
Or quick to the baseline for a drive.
Now Spencer beyond the arc for 3. That won't go. A little bit of flat shot. Lead down to 8.
Kimbrough almost got another foul.
Davis guarded in the man-to-man. Kenny on Burke. Foul line jumper's a brick, and then the Explorers can't control it. Came off on an awkward angle. Spencer knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, and Spencer's claiming that maybe somebody from Morgan State knocked it out, but I don't think so. I think that was off Spencer all the way.
Hakeem in for Dees, freshman for senior.
And gives him another 20 seconds on the shot clock. I'd just like to see LaSalle get a stop without a foul.
14:02 to play. Explorers on top 51-43. Beyond the arc goes Burke. His 3 will rim in and out. Kenny rips the rebound down.
Big rebound there. Big rebound.
Kenny behind the back. Jump stops. Fishes it to Kimbrough. Kimbrough goes to the rack. Stripped on the way up. Spencer, a heads-up play, fires it off. Syfax.
Kimbrough had the entire Morgan State student body covering him down there that time for that shot.
Explorer basketball, 19 on the shot clock. Kenny will run the inbounds. Out there with Kimbrough, Hakeem, Beatty, and Spencer. Beatty and Spencer are on the high and low posts, away from the ball. Hakeem breaks to the baseline. They get it to Kimbrough. Now Kenny to Hakeem. Penetrating a kick to Beatty. Beatty with a jab step. Looking to drive on Baxter. Jump stops to the foul line. Spins and kicks to the corner. Hakeem catch and shoot 3. That's no good. Rebound pulled down by Syfax.
Right, now this is an easy observation to make. How they're going to do it, I don't know. But LaSalle has to start matching Morgan State's intensity.
Explorers in a little bit of a scoring funk now. They haven't scored since the 15:40 mark, when Dees made 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Syfax drives and lays it in and draws the foul. Kimbrough will get whistled. It'll be number 2 on him, but a 3-point play in front of the Bears. Here comes Brandon Stone into the lineup. And again, this is, if you're following the Explorer basketball, this is a trend. Explorers struggle to match the intensity of the opposition in the second half. See double-digit leads shrink. down to where we are now, 6 and potentially 5. Hakeem out, Peary back in. Foul trouble mounting, 17 fouls for the Explorers.
All right, now give me the good news.
Syfax to the stripe. He's 16 for 23 from the free throw line at 70%. No good. Peary gets the rebound. The Explorers have gone without a field goal since 16:52 when Dees made a jumper. And now Spencer tries to break that streak, but he misses from deep. Chased down into the corner is Davis.
Well, that is where you'll get your shots against that 1-3-1, but you got to knock them down.
Burke trying to close in on the Explorers, who have given up another double-digit lead, down to 6 points. Burke drives, no good. Stone gets the rebound to Beatty. Collision in the backcourt. Here's Beatty in transition for the dunk and a foul on the play. Beatty throws it down with authority and a little extracurriculars.
Well, I tell you what, David's got to be careful here because taunting is something they're going to call. They may call it right now, too.
Syfax has asked to be removed from the game. Syfax got hung up on Saul Peary. It wasn't a pick. It was an accidental contact.
Oregon State fouls on number 13, Troy Baxter.
Baxter gets called for his third foul. Syfax will leave the game. He chased Kevin Brodus all the way down to the end of the bench and said, I need to leave the game. So Granston will check in.
I kind of like this to be the spark that, as I say, picks up the intensity for LaSalle. They got a long way to go here, but they're very capable of matching Morgan State's intensity. They just have to put their minds down to doing it right now.
That has certainly brought this arena to life, but Beatty misses another and one opportunity.
That's 5 or 6 points up on the foul line. Look at this.
And now here's another attempted dunk, but Stone unfortunately is there to draw the 4th foul. Stone just went up. There was no chance that dunk was going to go, but they did draw the 4th on Stone. So foul troubles mount.
Well, I kind of agree with Brandon on that one. You know, he was there, and like I said, it did seem, as Marty's pointing out, there did seem to be a lead elbow there to get that, even get the shot off. And I think Brandon was the victim of that and shouldn't have been called for the foul. But once again, I say it again, Cale, you saw the transition speed that Morgan State came down. They're just flying down that court all the time.
Davis 79% from the stripe, makes the first. Now Stone is out with 4 fouls. Ray's in for 3 with 3 fouls.
Combination of little things make big things happen. Right now, Morgan State's going full speed. LaSalle's going about 7/8, and that's the difference.
Davis makes 2 of 2, and the Explorer lead is back down to 6. So David Beatty's monster dunk gave the Explorers a little bit of a respite, but Morgan State answers with 2.
Morgan State's definitely into this game right now. Like I say, they're making this zone work.
Peary to Beatty. Now Dees will take the 3-pointer. That one won't go. Long rebound in the corner. Sharif Kenny chases it down, stays in play. Trapped on the baseline, passes it back out to midcourt. Spurs really need to make good on this second opportunity. Dees will try to do just that, and he won't. No good, but an offensive rebound. Kenny fouled on the way back up, and the bucket's good. Sharif Kenny with 2 offensive rebounds, just time down the floor, and a chance for a throw on top. They've led all but 31 seconds of this game. Under 12 to go. Kenny makes the N1.
Yeah, that hot shooting in the first half, that's what LaSalle needs now against this 1-3-1 zone, because that zone's going to give you the jump shots. You just have to make them.
Dees missed that first 2 3-pointers on that, but Kenny keeping both rebounds alive.
Well, see, there's where LaSalle's getting beat every time on the penetration. Got lucky there.
Travel, yeah, it was a drive by Rawls, dished it off. Baxter dragged the foot before he got into his motion.
I got to confess, I'm a little surprised by the way Morgan State's been able to penetrate against LaSalle, because they weren't able to do that in the first half. Now, as I said, intensity-wise, Morgan State, you know, they're at about 98%. LaSalle's maybe at about 82.
13th turnover of the game for the Bears.
Well, this ball's got to move a little quicker against that 1-3-1.
Dees in the corner. Pump fake, gets his man in the air, drives it, kicks to Kenny. Extra pass to Peary. Peary for 3. Pow!
That's how you beat that zone. Like I said, they got to go down.
So
The other thing about making field goals is you have a chance to get back on defense, although they're not doing it.
And here's an easy
Davis
layup.
just taking it right
Stanley
to them.
Davis. The Explorers with that make now 2 for 8 from the arc in the second half, as opposed to 9 for 18 in the first half. But the lead is 10 after Davis' quick answer.
A little defensive principle LaSalle's got to pick up right now is called off-ball help. Because, as I say, Morgan State's just going right to the hole. So it's those off-ball guys you got to step in and draw the charge.
These to Peary. Peary, the hedge, has Ray floating to the bucket. But now beyond the arc is Beatty. Sharif Kenny. Peary for 3 again. That one won't go. Ray tries to keep the rebound alive, but Rawls gets to it first.
Goes Davis right to the hole.
Shoots over. Peary gets the runner over the front of the rim. Lead back down to 8. 10.5 to 20 to play.
And Davis is our leading scorer, and you can see why. He's just doing nothing but taking it right to the basket every time he gets the ball.
Peary. Guarded at midcourt by Rawls. Bounce past the D's. They don't give him room to pull the trigger, so he's going to back his man in instead. Pump fake. Looking for the foul. Nothing there. Late foul call. Dees was going to get his own offensive rebound. That might have.
That made it save Morgan State 2 points right there. And let Shaggy can convert now and make the 2 fouls.
Yeah, Devonish, Prince. A late whistle. Yeah, Dees probably would have gotten his own putback if they hadn't blown it dead. But now here's the problem. Shaggy Dees on the free throw line where he's 3 for 4 today. The team's just 9 for 14. And in the second half, 3 for 6. 2 of them are front ends of 1-on-1s.
Just a quick note here, Kel. LaSalle, you know, whoever's guarding Davis, maybe could give him a step because, you know, he's only 5 for 15 from threes. Right now, he's just not hesitating at all. He's not looking for any kind of outside shot. He's just looking to go to the hole.
Dees makes a pair for 22 points on the afternoon, and the lead back to 10.
They need stops, though. They need stops without fouls.
Closest.
Solid footwork, excuse me.
Yeah, Morgan State got this half with 6. Baxter looking for a backdoor cut, mishandled, ball loose in the air. Morgan State gets it, and here's Devonish trapped underneath. Devonish Prince kicks it. Granston's 3 won't go. Another tip in won't go. Still tipped around. Morgan State with the ball again. Granston tries to establish, puts it on the rack, and finishes with a foul. It's going to be Spencer's second foul, so Lazio Granston this time with the offensive rebound. Averaging 4.7 points a game. You can get close to that with a make here. He's 5 for 6 from the stripe on the season.
This is a good time of any to see if we got some water from Lourdes and get Eddie Croswell in the ball game.
Ed Croswell not playing today with an ankle injury. Must have happened late. Saw him practice this week. The N1 no good. Spencer gets the rebound off the miss. Scott Spencer with 6 points and 5 boards now. Now Dees peels off. I like Dees' poise in this situation. Didn't rush a shot there. Pump fake, and he gets his man in the air again, draws the foul.
Morgan State fouls on number 13, Troy Baxter. His fourth
foul. So Baxter with 15 points, but now 4 fouls.
Baxter wants to block shots, so, you know, if it's possible for Salle to go right at him, I wouldn't hesitate to do it.
Baxter came into the day with 20 blocked shots, but now Dees on the stripe again. That's 17 fouls on the Bears. Dees makes the first, 23 points.
The last 9 minutes of this game could take about an hour and a half, Kel.
No doubt.
Going to be so many fouls.
Dees makes 2 of 2, so tightening up the free throw shooting.
Something that's missing defensively right now for LaSalle, Cal, is those turnovers.
63-53 the LaSalle lead. Granston dribbles the ball. It's going to be a turnover, and you ordered it. You got it. Shaggy Dees gets the steal, keeps the ball in play.
Great hustle by Shaggy Dees. Gets the little flick, goes down, and then still managed to get the pass out.
It started as he had the ball dribbled off his foot. I'm glad they didn't call that a kick because the offensive player dribbled off his foot, but then Shaggy dove to the ground and kept it in play. Step back, trying to get the contact again, doesn't. Throws up a near air ball, barely grabs rim. looking for the contact. Davis behind the back now. Runs over his man, and Dees takes the charge.
Oh, I'm talking about that off-ball help. He got past Perry, but Shaggy was right there.
And Davis with a phenomenal behind-the-back move on the first man, but Shaggy was there for the draw the charge.
Salle getting into a little conversation over there with the Morgan State bench. We don't need that, Salle.
Can the Explorers put a run together and try to put away the Bears, who have not gone away despite trailing by 18 here in the second half? Dees leading all scorers. Now Spencer pulls up. Offensive rebound. Ray puts it on the rim. No good. Another chip in by Christian Ray is good.
We've mentioned it more than once this year. The pop he has in his legs, there was proof of it because he missed an easy shot, but he went right back up with that tip.
So give Ray a couple rebounds there. 4 on the game. And the Explorers lead it by a dozen with 8 minutes to play.
And the off-ball help's got to be there because there's the ball in Davis's hands.
Davis. Syfax with a hand off the Rawls in motion. Three-pointer. Drains it. And Kevin Brodus will call a timeout with 7. Family, Rich Ricos, a LaSalle alum, lost his beautiful daughter in that this sickening shooting in Sandy Hook. So I want to take time to reach out and know that we're thinking about the Ricos family and everybody that lost a loved one that day in that national tragedy.
Good prayer there, Kel. Very nice, very nice. By the way, a quick shout out to 5 new listeners down in Florida. My daughter and wife Janie, and 2 great granddaughters, and a granddaughter and a grandson-in-law. Ashley, Evan, Carl, and Scarlett Jane. I got that out, Kel. I had to get that out.
Back to action with 7:35 to play. The Explorers have a foul committed on the offensive end. Saul Peary picks up his third. So the fouls are an issue. 10 fouls for the Explorers. I say these will take a break. The foul trouble piling up with Peary picking that one up. It's his I'll get to that later. Here's Davis with a three-pointer that won't go. Beatty gets the rebound off the miss to Peary. Peary to Hakeem. Hakeem bounce pass to Beatty. Lays it in. What a pass by Hakeem.
A left-handed pass, bounce pass off the dribble. Great cut by Beatty, but tremendous pass from Hakeem.
Third assist by Allende Hakeem, the freshman. It's the lead back to 11.
Oh, there's that Princeton backdoor cut, but this time Beatty stayed with him. And the off-ball help here is critical, Cal. They just have to be able to stop the drives.
7 minutes to play.
Here we go.
Davis.
Here we go.
Avoids the contact. Ball in the air, batted around. Last touched by the Explorers. So it'll be another offensive opportunity. Morgan State now at rebound of the Explorers, 35-24.
Yeah, well, Morgan State had the rebounding edge in the first half, too.
Under 7 to play. The Explorers lead is 11. The inbounds goes to Syfax.
They just got to stay on their feet and don't go for fakes.
Trying to back Ray in. Ray does not go for the fake. Missed shot, and Ray gets his 5th rebound after the miss. Beatty kicks it out to Kenny. Kenny thinks 3, but now drives and draws the foul on the take. That's Rawls committing team foul number 9.
Morgan State
number 2 on him.
Number 4, Kyson Rawls, his second.
Needless to say, Morgan State, you know, they are going to be found. Well, they're susceptible to foul right now because they need the ball and they're double teaming. We have to just make those foul shots.
Sharif Kenny goes to the free throw line. He's 2 for 3 this afternoon. 6 points on the game. And gets it to go. It tried to roll back off the front of the rim, but
the ball hurt me.
Jamar Brown will check back in the lineup. You know, I made that note about Rich Ricos and his family, and I want to thank Mike McNamara, our good alum listening up in New England, for reminding me of that this morning and being heads up on that. So, Mike, if you're listening out there, thanks very much. Kenny misses the second free throw. So it's a 12-point LaSalle lead. The Explorers from the stripe now, 12 for 31, and a foul on the play. A 2-point shot is good. Devonish Prince will be on the stripe for an and 1.
Explorers fouls number 1, David Beatty.
Devonish Prince with back-to-back jump shots. Something we haven't seen Morgan State do too much of, but he certainly put 2 good ones in for them.
Beatty picks up his first. Devonish Prince, Devonish Prince to the free throw line where he is. Try to act on his 6th point of the game. By the way, we're Morgan State out of the city of Baltimore, and one of their finest and LaSalle finest, Darnell Harris, in attendance today as well. Good to see Nelly. Went up in the stands a couple timeouts ago. Devonish Prince makes the and one.
Morgan State, number 11, Malik Miller.
And Malik Miller will check in for the Bears. 9-point LaSalle lead, 6:29 to play. Morgan State came out with a ferocity in the second half, got the lead to 6, but the Explorers have been able to keep them at the 10 mark or thereabouts. Beatty skipped past to Kenny. 3-point shooting, not what it was in the first half. That's been another trend of this squad. Teams either react or the Explorers just go cold in the second half. Now fading away, Beatty with a baseline 2, won't go, and rebound chased down by the Bears. Devonish Prince in transition from behind. Beatty would have gotten the ball cleanly, but his feet tangled up but tripped Devonish Prince from behind. His first foul, and Devonish Prince will be on the stripe for 2.
Now, Sharif Kenny committed that foul. He was hustling back, and he kind of reached, which is not something you want to do on defense. That's one of the Cardinals' sins.
Devonish Prince, 61%.
Right, them on the line with 2 now. And of course, LaSalle's on the line with 2 the rest of the way.
6 for 8 from the stripe this afternoon. And a make there. And that was one of those things where he didn't know that Kenny was coming from behind, so when he zigged to the left, he got in Kenny's foot traffic. Kenny otherwise would have had a clean reach in. But he makes the first, makes the second, and the lead is back down to 7 with exactly 6 minutes to play.
A long way to go, and as I said, it's going to be a lot of foul shot.
Inbound to Hakeem.
Now Morgan State's going man-to-man now the last 2 possessions for LaSalle. I'd like to see LaSalle shooting 2 fouls now, take it to the hole, but then again, they have to make them.
Hakeem spins back to Peary. Took a while to get that pass to him, so he didn't have room to shoot it.
Good pass would have given him a wide open look.
But this one's no good, a 3-pointer. Rebounded by Morgan State, trying to get as close as they've been since the opening minutes of the half. Baxter hits the brakes. Now beyond the arc is Burke. 7-point LaSalle lead, 5:28 to play. Burke.
Here's the man for them right now.
Devonish Prince sweeps with the ball. Kenny denies the take. He passes it up. 5 on the shot clock. Burke a fadeaway that will not go. There's Christian Ray with a rebound, avoids the man from behind. Now Hakeem.
Great rebound by Ray.
Beatty catch and shoot 3. It won't go. Ray keeps the rebound alive, but Morgan State with the ball. The Explorers can't connect from deep. Malik Miller nearly turned it over, but too hot for Hakeem to handle. He loses it out of bounds. Back in the lineup from Stanley Davis. He'll replace Malik Miller, and Scott Spencer and Isaiah Dees replace Saul Peary and David Beatty. So senior and junior replace senior and junior. Transfer replaces transfer.
Right. And the big thing, too, is LaSalle's at a decided height disadvantage right here. Because all the people with size are sitting over there on the bench.
Syfax in for Rawls. 4:54 to play. The Explorers on top, 68-61.
Now Christian Ray has the toughest assignment with Baxter. He's giving away, as I say, about 4 inches.
Inbounds to Devonish Prince, trying to drive on Kenny. Leans in, no good. Kenny gets the rebound off the miss. Great job not fouling by Sharif Kenny.
There's a foul, there's a foul, there's another foul.
He runs Devonish Prince off the ball. The Explorers don't have to be in a rush. Not trying to take the air out of the ball, but you certainly don't need to rush a quick shot. 4.5 to go. Dees gives it up to Kenny. Kenny's beyond the arc. Spencer denied the take. 8 on the shot clock. Dees beyond the arc on the far side, guarded by Davis. Takes a 3-pointer. That will not go. And the rebound on the ground. Ray had position, and he was knocked out of the way, I believe, by Baxter. If it is, it's no, it will not.
Some side text. Side text.
Syfax will send Christian Ray to the stripe for 2. So both teams in the double bonus the rest of the way. Ray is 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Freshman out of the Haverford School. Hits the first. Explorer lead back to 8. 4:20 to play.
My famous philosophy here, Cale. 3 stops.
Ray gets the roll in the second. So Christian Ray gets the Explorers back to a 9-point advantage with 4:16 to play.
Fatigue may be a factor here, but I wouldn't mind seeing LaSalle in that little zone press to eat up some clock. There's a great steal.
Fax loses the ball. The Explorers get the steal. No numbers, so they'll slow it down. Now Dees draws a triple team. Back out to Hakeem. They can run more clock and get below 4 minutes. Now Dees beyond the arc. Sweeps to the ball. Looking to back his man into the paint. Fades away. 2-point shot. Up and in for Shaggy Dees. Dees now with 26 points, and the Explorers up by 11 with 3:40 to play.
Yeah, he just.
Baxter with a three-pointer over Ray. No
Numbers.
good. 3-on-1 break. Kenny to Ray. Ray goes, lays it in despite the contact. Christian Ray with a strong finish.
That was Baxter's 5th foul. Didn't get the call. There's a walk.
Here's another steal. Ray on the ground. They tie it up. Jump ball will go to Morgan State. But we'll take our final schedule.
The hole and draw a foul.
So the Sharif Kenny, Scott Spencer, Allende, Hakeem, Christian Ray, and Shaggy Dees. 3 freshmen, a junior, and a senior out there for the Explorers.
Like I say, Cale, defensive principles are very important here. Stay on your feet. Don't reach. Off-ball help.
Here's a near steal by Spencer. They dive into the backcourt. Morgan State's going to retain possession. In the corner. A catch and shoot. 2-pointer won't go. Dees has the rebound tipped out of bounds.
Shaggy Dees with good position there. I thought he could have gotten over the top foul, but I'll take the out of bounds. Just eat that clock up.
How about the game Christian Ray's playing? The numbers aren't going to be flashy, but the hustle plays and the critical rebounds and finishes.
I tell players all the time, you'd be amazed at how many things don't show up in the box score.
And here he is alone for a dunk attempt over the top with a foul comes Syfax. Ray will hit the deck, but you know when we, the scoring escapades of this guy out of the Haverford School in the Interact League, shattering records, and 2-time player of the year. But the word would be that he would be a glue guy, a do-everything sort of guy, and that seems to be what we're seeing out of him right now.
You know, the old phrase of people my age, they used to call it a great floor game. And that encompassed a lot of little things, but as I say, most of those things don't show up on a box score, but that is what Christian Ray gives you. Although making foul shots does show up in the box score, and I'm glad that's going down. Get this one, too.
3 of 3 down the stretch here. 7 points.
Our freshman
6
were 7
rebounds.
out of 8 last week.
And he makes one here. Just like that, the Explorers find themselves up by 15. 2:56 to play. Across midcourt comes Devonish Prince, guarded by Kenny. Now Syfax trying to back Dees down. Dees into the paint. His runner is good. 76-63, the Explorer lead. 2:38 to go.
But the answer to Cal, I'm all right with that as long as you don't put him on the foul line. Right now, LaSalle needs the clock more than they need the stops.
Run the baseline on the inbounds. Now Hakeem.
Been impressed all year with Coach Howard's confidence in Hakeem at the end of these games.
He's going to go baseline, double pump, doesn't get him to bite, but Dees cutting back door, gets his man to go on a reverse layup, strong finish.
Once again, Hakeem penetrating, draws some defenders, gets them off their feet. Nice cut by Dees, bounce pass from Hakeem layup.
28 for Dees. The Explorers now up by 15 with 2 minutes to play. A stop here in this game's pretty much over. Drive and then late foul. They'll call Kenny. It looked like Burt was in trouble. He got himself in the air and looking for anything to happen. It was a foul.
I'm going to be not happy with that call. It's been a well-officiated ball game, and I guess it wouldn't be a ball game unless we had at least one complaint.
So Isaiah Burke, averaging 9.2 points a game, is exactly 9, and now 10 with the make free throw from the free throw line. Free McCray Pace checks into the lineup.
This may be, offense, defense substitution here to maybe get the clock stopped by fouling.
Here comes Burke.
Good block
this
out.
This is the second. Ray has the rebound knocked away, but into the hands of Kenny, who steps to a double team, and he's fouled on the way through that double team.
But how'd you like Ray's block out there? It was tremendous.
Absolutely. Christian Ray now with, I believe, 9 rebounds. 8 points, 9 rebounds. We're working on an alternate live stat site today, so I apologize for being a little bit behind, but he has at least 9 boards and 8 points. 1:50 to play. The Explorers trying to put this one away. Sharif Kenny on the free throw line. Kenny 3 for 5 from the stripe, 7 points, 5 boards. Makes this one. Malik Miller will check back in.
I've said since that Iona game that Kenny and Hakeem would make foul shots at the end of the game. I hope I'm right about that prognostication.
Morgan State, number 22, Cameron Shaw.
Cameron Shaw sees his first action of the afternoon. 11th player used by Kevin Brodus. Kenny makes 2 of 2.
I don't know. Was that a little bit of a white flag there, taking Baxter out?
Possibly. 80-64 with 1:46 to play. Here's a deep 2 by Burke, in and out. Kenny gets the rebound and outlet pass to Hakeem. Hakeem has a step. He's going to go and lay it in, and that should do it.
That was just a great outlet pass. And you know, how about that dunk that Hakeem had last week against Drexler? I was looking for that again.
I'm glad he didn't try to do that there and maybe risk injury or have tempers flare. But an 18-point lead matches the largest of the game. With
Pookie Powell against Texas Southern, Cal.
Wow, that was for the win. And a layup is good, but 1:10 to play. The Explorers got to get it across midcourt one more time. Maybe a second. And Hakeem does just that with 60 seconds to play.
Once again, Cal, this young team responds to adversity. You know, they had the big lead. The team makes a great run at them, and they stand their ground.
Hakeem backs his man into the paint. Tries
Another
to fish to Ray. Ray trapped underneath, but still gets a shot on the rim that would not go.
Wow.
And with 45 seconds to play, Morgan State will rush it across midcourt. Get one more look at it. Here's a drive and an easy finish by Burke. And a timeout called by Brodus. Probably just to get
Here comes Marty.
Tehran Oliver.
Here comes Marty's young man.
He replaces number 5,
District Heights, Maryland. Yeah, Marty was hoping this guy was a coach.
Marty wants to check age cards.
Tehran Oliver is a 6'10" senior at District Heights, Maryland.
He is a very, very big man.
30 seconds to go. The Explorers up 82-68. Hakeem to Spencer. Now Kenny beyond the arc. 20 left in the game. The Explorers fending off a feisty Morgan State squad. Kenny kicks in the corner. D's for 3. One more time.
Why not?
Why not is right. Shaggy D's breaks the 30-point mark with 32 on the afternoon. Or excuse me, 31 on the afternoon. And Morgan State will get one final look. A step back 3 that will not go. Another rebound. Oliver will just play it on out. And that'll do it. The Explorers survive and get the W.